All right, let's dive into the Dodgers. Fabian, what is going on with the starting rotation now that Rōki Sasaki hits the shelf with a shoulder impingement? Are they running out of starters in May?
It certainly kind of feels like it. I think they've already had to run a couple of bullpen games. They have another one scheduled for Thursday. Some of this obviously was kind of by design when you kind of mapped out how this rotation would look. You knew there was going to be a lot of flux. You knew that guys were going to go down, guys were going to come off the injured list, everything like that. But like, yeah, obviously to have this big of pitching injuries this quickly, I don't think anyone anticipated that. I don't think anyone anticipated having Tyler Glasnow and Blake Snell and Rōki Sasaki all down. And obviously they're going to get some help soon. Clayton Kershaw is going to come off the IL on Saturday, but this is not a position the Dodgers were hoping to be in the second week of May.
Are we supposed to 100% believe that every IL stint for Dodgers pitchers is the same IL stint that it is for other teams? I know it's kind of turned into that. Like Glasnow's actually, his is extended more. It kind of happened last year where he stayed on the IL longer. Snell's is extended longer, but we know Sasaki's not going to throw 150 innings this year. So do we just 100% believe that all of these injuries are like, yes, 100%, like this is definitely IL worthy?
I think the Dodgers are more willing to err on the side of caution with guys than maybe most teams are, just because of the position that they're in. Like they can afford to play the long game with a lot of these guys. I know that Dave Roberts has kind of used that phrase a lot, especially when it comes to Blake Snell, because they understand they didn't sign him to get him through July or through August. They signed him for October. Same thing with Glass now. They're willing to sort of kick the can. If you're feeling anything, you're going to go on the IL and probably for an extended time just to make sure that everything gets rooted out. And sort of to Sasaki, yeah, absolutely. I think this was honestly comes probably at a good time also just for them to sort of give him a breather, give him a reset, give him a chance to work with their development staff and rework the mechanics, rework the delivery, get him into a place where he can be effective on a big league mound, because we were seeing obviously the velocity was trending down, and I'm sure the shoulder had something to do with that, but also just the rest of the arsenal was not in a good place, and he was getting hit hard as a result. So a chance to get a breather, a chance to maybe have a minor league stint without being a minor league stint, or essentially send him to Arizona, work with your guys. Like, I think it's a chance for a reset in a sense for him, and also for certain guys, it's a chance to like have a breather, manage things, load manage your way kind of through a season, which the Dodgers are in a unique position to be able to do.
Fabian, didn't they know this though going in with Rōki? Wasn't this a thing with him that they knew? So why now? Well, I mean, I know he's hurt, but why now? Like, and by the way, the Dodgers are leading the league in shoulders this year. Before it was elbows, now it's shoulders. So you said he gets to go to his development. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of arm injuries, and the Dodgers even came out this spring and said, hey, we need to look at it. But for Rōki, I know his velo was down. His velo was down last year. How worried are they that he might not bounce back from this?
I think they should be at least somewhat worried, especially because this was a shoulder issue he was dealing with last year too. So, like, is this a chronic thing? Is this a thing that can be corrected? Is this something that the way he throws is going to lead him to shoulder issues and the velocity is not going to get back to where it is? Yeah, there is absolutely some concern, which I think, especially when you're looking at the velocity numbers, especially like because that fastball relies so much more on the velocity than maybe your average fastball, just because of the characteristics and everything like that. So yeah, like they have to get the shoulder right first. But yeah, I think they didn't. They expected to be in a position where they had to develop him, but I don't know if they expected him to be maybe at this stage of things in May. I think they were hoping to maybe work with him on the third pitch, that the velocity would be maybe 98 to 100 as opposed to 94 to 96, and all of a sudden you're looking at different issues. Like I don't think they expected the command to be as poor as it has been to start this season. So obviously there's a huge adjustment coming to Major League Baseball. They kind of learned that with Yoshinobu Yamamoto last year, but Yamamoto was able to make those adjustments that much more quickly because he had an established track record in Japan. He was 25 years old, a three-time Sawamura Award winner. Rōki Sasaki didn't pitch a whole lot in Japan, so like, there's a lot of development on that end of things that they had to do before even adjusting to Major League Baseball. So yeah, I think there's more of a learning curve than maybe the Dodgers originally anticipated, but they have to sort of use this time to kind of first get him healthy and then figure out exactly what they can get done this season and what has to get pushed forward to the future.
FT fan by now, you know if you're buying, selling, trading, collecting cards, Arena Club is the spot. We've been talking about them all season long, but I do want to focus on the slab pack experience, Kratz, since you've been ripping some slab packs digitally. And what happens?
I mean, as a kid, you wanted to rip open the packs. How can they do this digitally? Oh, baby. This is exciting. How the graphics come out and everything. And oh, yeah, the card that you pull, you can actually get that, John, physically. So it's perfect. It's all in one place, and it's a super exciting experience.
Yeah, they send that to you from the vault if you want it. But if you look at it and you're like, it's not the card for me, I want to sell back, go for it. You can do any of that on Arena Club, and you can acquire the best value for your money with those slab packs, transparent checklists, and Arena Club's Slab Safe program. Right now, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/FAL and use code FAL. arenaclub.com/FAL, use code FAL.
Is there a chance they option him to AAA? Because after he comes back,
It doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they've been pretty steadfast, like it's going to be in the big leagues. But I do wonder if there's a part of them that sort of maybe kicks the can down the road when it comes to the recovery, the IL stint. Give him some time, maybe in Arizona. Give him some time in lower pressure environments to kind of work through through some things, and that gives them some time maybe to see who's healthy, who's in the rotation. How does Clayton Kershaw look? How does Emmett Sheehan look once he gets back on the rotation? How does Blake Snell or Tyler Glass now look once they hopefully get back in the rotation? So give them a chance to see who's pitching well and when, and then they can sort of make that determination. But I mean, Dave Roberts said it last weekend when he was struggling. He said it last night when he went on the IL. He doesn't anticipate Rōki Sasaki going into minor leagues at any point in terms of being officially options. I wonder if there's a way that maybe they finagle it when it comes to being on the IL, going through a rehab assignment, an extended one. But yeah, it doesn't sound like he's officially going to be optioned at any point.
Okay, let's run through some of these names, by the way. Gavin Stone, Brewster Gratterall, Michael Grove, Edgardo Enriquez, Blake Trinan, Emmett Sheehan, Tommy Edman, Kyle Hurt, River Ryan, Teoscar Hernandez, Tyler Glasnow, Blake Snell, Michael Kopech, Jake Geloff, Clayton Kershaw, Rōki Sasaki. That's the list of people on the IL currently for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Most teams would fold under this. The Dodgers are playing better. It's amazing to me. So let's get a little good news. Clayton Kershaw is coming back this weekend. What can we expect from old Kersh? I know he was throwing like 87 miles an hour, which velocity never was his thing. I mean, it was mid-90s, but it was all about a slider and a curveball. What can the Dodgers expect when Kersh comes back?
I think they're expecting him to pitch like Clayton Kershaw. I think that's the thing. Like, he looked pretty good coming off shoulder surgery last year until obviously that last outing where the toe really kind of gave way. That's what kind of tanked the numbers. But he looked like vintage Clayton Kershaw. Obviously, the velocity is not going to be what it always has been, but like the command is really good. He's able to pitch that slider off the fastball effectively, and the shoulder feels good. He's sort of said that throughout this process. Like, the arm has felt so good. That's why he was willing to get the knee and the toe surgeries to keep pitching, just because of how good the arm felt. And as long as that's the case, like, he's a guy who, I know it's kind of cliche to say, but like, he just knows how to pitch. I've seen the guy with half a shoulder sort of go through an outing and be able to sort of pitch effectively and go deep into games. So he's a guy who is a stabilizer as long as he's out there on the mound. Obviously, being out there on the mound has been more the issue the last few years, but I think as long as he's able to be in there, like, he's going to be kind of an important piece for the Dodgers just to get through the summer, and we'll see sort of where things stand when guys get healthy. But he's a guy who's going to help you get through a season at the very least, and exactly what you're going to get. And obviously, he has some milestones in front of him. It's going to be an interesting few stretch of starts for him. But like, I think I'm expecting him to pitch pretty well, actually.
I mean, Kershaw has never not pitched well. Like, you just look down his page and it's just 2.5 ERAs for life. But is there a chance he stays on a 5-day rotation because of the fact that before it was you had a Friday night starter, then you had a Saturday night starter, and guys were kind of on like a 6 or 7-day rotation? Does Kershaw want to come back, or does Dave Roberts and the Dodgers want to put him on his traditional 5-day rotation?
I think there'll be a little bit of maybe pitching on a 5-day rotation, pitching a 6-day rotation, everything like that. Like, obviously, this first start's going to be on 5 days worth of rest. Clayton Kershaw's kind of acquiesced a little bit to that in a little bit in recent years. There was a stretch, obviously, when the shoulder was going, that he would pitch once a week. So like obviously they're in a position where they kind of have to make do with the starters that they have. There's not gonna be as many off days as there were in April, as we just saw that 10-game road trip where they kind of had to adjust guys' pitching schedules, including Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Rōki Sasaki. Yamamoto is probably going to be pitching more frequently on 5 days rest than maybe he was at the beginning of the season when he was usually on 6 days of rest. That's something he did a lot last year. So I think there's going to be transition more to, I don't know if it's a traditional every 5-day turn, but like at least something that helps you get through this part of the season. And obviously we'll see how things look probably after the All-Star break once Shohei Ohtani's back, because that's a guy who maybe opens the door for you to have a 6-man rotation just because of what he does in terms of your numbers and how many pitchers you're allowed to have because of the two-way player rule. So Clayton Kershaw, I think, at least to start, will probably be bouncing between maybe a 5-day turn or a 6-day turn.
Okay, how important is Yamamoto now? I mean, he's like the most important player on this team all of a sudden, right? Because he's the one guy that goes out every 5th day and just shoves.
Yeah, I mean, he's been their best pitcher this season. I think one of the best pitchers in the National League, and he's incredibly important. We've seen him be basically the kind of guy he was in Japan, the kind of guy who got the richest contract ever for a pitcher. And this is exactly what the Dodgers were kind of hoping he'd be. Obviously, coming off the shoulder last year, I'm sure there was some trepidation, like, all right, how is this going to look? How is he going to hold up? And all indications have been he's held up great. He's looked great. He's looked even better. And it's not necessarily like a thing where like the velocity's up or anything like that, but he's just found a way to make all of his pitches that much sharper. The way he's attacking hitters, he has a lot more confidence. The command has been really sharp. Like, he has been incredible for them, and he is the most important pitcher on the staff right now. He is the staff ace that they kind of paid him to be.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Before we let you go, by the way, I see your helmet behind you. I'll take and raise you one.
Oh, yeah. Go Devils. I went to ASU.
I see that. I saw that behind you. This is the Pat Tillman.
Oh,
I love that.
With the brother and all the
awesome.
people that died. So, yeah, I saw yours behind you. So, I figured I'd pull out one of my helmets.
That's nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Super
Is this
cool.
the digital camo? Is
Digital
that what they call
camo,
it?
yeah.
Kratz, right? Digital camo?
Digi camo. Yeah.
Digi camo.
Slick looking
One
helmet,
day.
though.
Yeah.
Good looking helmet.
Yeah,
One day
There you
I'll
go.
tell my story about Pat Tillman connection to my baseball career, but it's not here nor there.
I would love to hear it sometime. Well, Fabian, appreciate the time, man. Everyone check out his articles. Really great work covering the Dodgers in The Athletic. Check out what he's bringing to the table on Twitter as well. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.